Hey everybody, it's Patty. Welcome to the Witching Hour. Yes, that hour of the day when the veil is thin and magic happens. I have some beautiful magic for you today. She's a psychic, she's a medium, she is a dear, dear friend, the one and only Angie Ramsey. Welcome, Angie. Thank you so much for coming on my show.
Oh, thank you, Patty, for having me. It seems like forever since I've seen you.
I know, days. Has it been
Day.
days? I'm not even sure. When we're taping this, I just got back from Hickory, North Carolina, where we had a fabulous and full weekend of workshops and ghost hunts and seances and sessions. And it was a really great time. And my first time ever in North Carolina, let alone Hickory. And she was the perfect hostess. So
Oh, thank
thank
you.
you. And now, when we're airing this, it's just after your birthday, right?
It
So
is.
happy birthday.
Thank you so much.
So anyway, you have anybody I know, you have one foot in this world and one firmly in the spirit realm. I mean, you started out your journey literally getting struck by lightning, which I want to start there. Let's start with that lightning strike. You were just 4 years old, right? What do you remember from that moment? Or how did it shift your life or spiritually and energetically?
So I remember the whole incident, and it came through on a 1970s CB radio because the lightning hit the tower out back and then just ran through and popped me. And I was sitting there, with hair all out to here, and it affected my hearing for a while, but it came back. And just a couple months later, I started predicting who was on the phone. And we had the rotary phones on the wall. So there was no caller ID whatsoever. And I'm not going to lie, it kind of freaked my mom out a little bit. It freaked me
Yeah.
out.
Wow, that's
But yeah, so,
amazing.
so it's impacted me in ways where to this day it's still kind of surreal. And as you've told me in the past, I don't give myself enough credit. I think for a long time I suppressed those feelings, those thoughts, the intuition, the knowledge. And I'm finally at the age now where I'm just like, you know what? Let's just embrace what it is and run with it.
Exactly, exactly. You have, uh, again, I don't usually do full bios, but it's amazing. You've had UFO encounters, you've worked with MUFON, you've served as a firefighter, investigated paranormal across the country. You have a degree in criminal justice and a minor in psychology, and you bring that all together in who you're doing. And now you have this beautiful little shop. So where you get
Yes.
to help people, and I see how you help people. Just again, now that it's firsthand and I've spent many hours within it, it's pretty amazing what you do for people. But I am going to the where I am very, very intrigued, and I know kind of the least about. You've seen UFOs. You've been interviewed by MUFON. Can you share maybe the most unforgettable experience you've had with unexplained phenomena?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. So I was living in Indianapolis, Indiana, and it was just days after I saw the UFO out back, and my dog was out there, and I just happened to have my phone because I was recording him running back and forth, acting crazy, doing Zoom. And so I saw it in the air and I snapped the picture. Well, like I said, it was days later. I lived in a two-story house. I was in the bathtub, and it was probably like 11 o'clock at night, and I started hearing ice cream truck music. And it sounds really weird, but it was literally right outside my house. So there was a window there. I'm peeking out and I don't see anything at all. And evidently, that's a very common sound after seeing a UFO.
Really?
Yes. And I have an immense fear of clowns. You have no idea. So when I heard the music, immediately I'm just like, nope, this is not for me. Yeah.
No, I don't like clowns either. I think it's a common thing, but it's a thing. It is a thing I don't like. That is wild. Um, if, okay, again, from firefighter to flight attendant. I love my scarf. She gave me her airline scarf, her
Oh,
little to psychic medium. It's a really unique path that you traveled, obviously. How did all your earthly roles, like into the mundane and true crime and all that, prepare you for what you do now in the metaphysical world? And you both lead paranormal things. Again, you have a spiritual shop, you teach, you do readings.
I,
How do your worlds combine, or how has that helped?
it has helped me deal with the public. That's the major thing. And for those who don't really deal with the public on a daily basis, it's kind of difficult because you have to match energy with energy. And if you approach someone the wrong way, well, you can get a bad review, or they won't come back to your store, or they can discredit what you're saying. What happened?
I don't
That's
know.
the
You went
last
away and
thing
you
that
came
you want to
back.
do
Ooh,
is
haunted.
to
Is
be
that the ghost?
decredited in this type of industry.
Yeah.
Are you there?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm there. Can you see me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you see me?
Did I lose you, Patty?
No, I am here. I see
Hello?
you. Hello. Rob, which one of us is missing? Hello. I am
Patty, are you
here.
here?
I am here.
If you're here, I
Okay.
can't hear you.
For everybody who is live on X or YouTube right now, this is why we tape it for
Oh
later. So you
no,
will
where did
see
you
the,
go? Patty!
I am right
Patty, where are
here. Wait, I'm right here. Rob,
Yeah, she'll come right back in.
was it me that was gone or her?
No, it was her.
Okay. Hi, you went away. I was here. I was talking, but I think your internet went, your ghost. You must be your ghost.
it was a spam caller.
It was a spam caller. I know. We get
I
that
love
about.
it.
So anyway, but again, so anybody who's on YouTube and X right now, these are behind the scenes faux pas and blurps. Everybody else won't see this once
Good.
in a few weeks that it airs. That they'll think we are perfect and no blips.
Right.
Um, Anyway, so when you're on a paranormal investigation, we got to do, well, we've done a couple together. We worked
Yeah.
together on the Ghost Finders.
Hmm.
And then just this past weekend, we did a beautiful that you guided with your team. So tell us a bit about your new team and when you're on a paranormal investigation, how do you distinguish? Because again, where there was lots of stuff going on at that one, always is. How do you distinguish between, like, say, positive spirits and darker entities? How does your mechanism work?
Okay, so the new team that I just created, the acronym is GHOST. It's a Greater Hickory Occult Spiritual Team. So excited. And I really cannot wait to get on the ground running with this. But to answer your question, the way I differentiate the two is I feel love and light. And it's just a warm, inviting feeling when it is a positive spirit. When it goes to the dark side, however, it's like if I were a dog, my hackle hair on the back of my neck just starts standing up and it goes down my spine and it's a tingling sensation. And immediately I just know, I'm like, okay, something's here that does not need to be here. This is not where I want to go right now. Let's change it up. Let's move to a different section, or let's see if we can get that entity to move along. Yeah, I don't like dealing with those too much.
No, I don't either. I mean, you have to so much. Like, again, we met on a TV show. TV shows always want the dark spirits. They don't want you to go where the happy ghosts are hanging from this chandelier. That's why a recent Ghost Adventures I did, which was mostly happy ghosts, and they let us smile on the show at the Winchester Mystery House. But in
And
my
what an
personal work,
amazing episode. That was an amazing
I,
episode.
it,
Oh my
it was
gosh.
it was a fun one. It was a fun one. Thank you. But I know I like to going where happy ghosts are. They want to communicate and tell you stories and things. It's amazing. So we did meet on the Ghost Finders.
Mhm.
So what was your experience like on that show, working with that? Do you have any behind the scenes moments or special moments that you want to bring up to everybody?
So we were originally supposed to film in November, and then COVID happened. I
Mm.
was already on my way up to Indiana because I had to go pick up some supplies for the soap store. And so I decided, hey, I'm going to go ahead and go. You know, they were doing a live video on YouTube. I said, I'll just walk in, give you a quick rundown of what's going on. I went in, I was in the basement, and I even have an audio clip of it that something came rushing straight at us, and there's a very distinct growl. Well, fast forward to when we actually filmed, I believe it was in March. I think it was in March. And this whole time, something was calling me back. It was just calling me, calling me, calling me. And turns out this place has a memory, as a lot of places have memories like this. Well, it was telling me to bring Doris, the resident there, a doll, which we love
Oh,
dolls.
we love
So
dolls.
I looked and looked and looked and could never find one that was the perfect doll until I went to an antique store literally right before we filmed. Like, it was last second.
Wow,
So yeah, so remember we were giving her the doll, and I
we
thought
did.
you were tugging on my jacket, and it was not you at
It was
all.
not me. I was not
No.
tugging on your jacket. I think you picked a good doll. I remember that. It's like, in this scene, Angie's giving the ghost a doll. I'm like, oh, how fun. Okay.
And
Again.
the weird part about it, Patty, and I don't think I've ever told you this. So you know how the little porcelain dolls, you will have a little tag on it that'll have their name.
Hmm.
The name of that doll was Janine, but Dan said Jeanette. That was my grandmother's name. So I was a little creeped out right there. But
Ah.
yeah, yeah. So moving after that, I kept telling everyone, and I think I even told you a couple times, we need to go to the attic. We need to go to the attic. And I kept saying it over and over and over. Well, the film crew had already put all of the recording devices away because another crew was coming in after us. And so we just finally said, let's do it. So we all went up there. And then that's when Jeff caught the pictures of the thing that was behind me.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it was a whole series of events after that. I think I even brought it home for a brief moment. I let my guard down, and I did not have that filled up. And that's what
Right.
happens when you don't know what you're doing. And that's the thing with a lot of these new paranormal investigators, is like they don't know how to protect themselves.
Right. And you really have to. And again, that's why I started the school. And we teach how to do that. And it's happened to all of us. It's happened to me. When I've ever had
Mhm.
a faux pas or something go bad, it's because I dropped the ball, or either I didn't know or I forgot. Oops, I slipped. Oops, I forgot to set up my protections. Oops, I forgot to do this. And it's like, oh, it's serious. That, yeah. I think I have a tendency to get pushed downstairs for some reason. I think
You've been
that
pushed
happened.
twice that I know of.
I know it happened there with us at a whole different location. That's in Indiana. And then
Mhm.
this past December, of which I'm still healing from, a grumpy old cowboy in Texas. So, you got to watch out. You got to be on your guard. What kind
But
of protection tech? Go on.
if you think about it, though, me and you were the only two psychic mediums there. We were the only two that were injured.
Yeah. Interesting. Oh, you're right. They see us coming, they know that we can see them, or we can, we can call up, call down and along the way. So that's a good point. Yeah,
Right.
that was fun. You were the best part of the shoot. I get to meet a new friend.
I
Yay.
know. I love
Eh,
it.
Um, so what kind of stuff do you, I know there's a billion fabulous things. What kind of things do you do for protection now, both before and then after, so you don't take something home with you?
So I meditate, and when I'm out in the actual area that we're investigating, it's hard to do with a lot of people around. But basically, I'll just close my eyes for a minute, and I'll imagine this invisible field, kind of like a bubble, kind of like Glenda
Mhm.
coming down in a bubble.
Yeah,
And
working on that.
it's yeah. And I make it to where it's probably about a foot away from me, all the way around. And if I ever feel anything, I just go back to that place where I'm imagining that field there. And believe it or not, it helps. It's almost like it bounces back. Yeah.
100% it helps. Intention is everything. Nothing's solid. Anyway, seventh grade science, we're not solid. It's moving atoms. And our intention, whether we're putting in protective bubbles. I taught this last night in a class, a warding and protection class, or spell casting and everything else.
Mhm.
That intention is just as real and solid as everything else because it isn't solid anyway. So that's beautiful. So you think you took something home that one time? How did you know? How did it affect you?
It affected me in many different ways, and I'm going to embarrass myself for a moment.
Mhm.
I was sitting on my bed watching TV, was not eating anything at all. My front tooth breaks at a diagonal angle, just breaks.
Wow.
So, yeah, not real. Anyways, that's the embarrassing moment now. Um, and
That's
then
spooky though. That's
it,
spooky.
yeah, it really is. And then in my store, I have a really cool picture that's on the wall. I used E6000 glue and I glued this beautiful ornate frame all the way around it. E6000 can pull a truck. Nothing's going to come off of that. But me and my right hand person at my store, Brooke, we were in the back of the store and we were doing inventory. And I had my head down in the computer just doing my thing. She was unwrapping the inventory and she called it out of the corner of her eye. And it was like, this is the picture on the wall. And it started lifting from the bottom like that. And then all of a sudden, the frame is jerked off the picture. The picture stayed on the wall, but the frame was jerked off the picture. Now, I
Wow.
am incredibly lucky that no one was walking under that when it happened. But, it's just a drop in the bucket for the things that happened. I've had spinal fusions and I have a spinal cord stimulator implant. And turns out at Randolph, whenever I went down to one knee because I just knew I was going to pass out, I bent over because I started feeling nauseous. And when I did, I arched my back. So that right there just exposed the battery pack that's right there at my hip. And it felt like something was reaching its hand in there and grabbing my spinal cord and tugging on it. And it absolutely depleted the battery now to where I have to get that surgically replaced. So I was
Wow.
like, what next? And I hate saying those words, but it just kept going and kept going and kept going. And Megan from the show, I had to call her up here and say, this is beyond me. I need some help. And I was not afraid to ask for it because at this
Never be
point,
afraid to ask for it.
I was getting desperate.
Right. So she took care of it. That's great.
She
And that
did.
is spooky about having something electronic in your body because those of us who do paranormal
Mhm.
stuff, those spirits, they can drain us, but they really drain electronics. Your cell phone dies, the regular filming camera dies, all your ghosty equipment died. My light up dowsing rods at your shop died immediately. The first day, and the second day, you put new ones in. It's just like there's no rhyme or reason to what it is. They just use the energy. But that is sort of scary if it's something in your physical body that's
Yeah.
helping your health.
I was a
Yeah.
power source. And
Yeah.
I really hate it for the investigative team that came after us because that thing was whatever it was supercharged.
Yeah. That's wild.
Mm-hmm.
Um, do you have any? Okay, let's go. You have a crystal store. Oh, it's so much more than that. You have beautiful
Oh,
jewelry and decor and dragons.
I do
The
have dragon.
biggest dragon I've ever seen. One of those like 3D print. Oh my God. So what is it like running a store again? And you are in the Bible Belt. You are in the Bible Belt, this very magical, very witchy store. So I'm sure that you have some conflicts around the way, but what is it like? People coming in and being able to help people and questions, are people really opening up to it?
Yeah, they really are. And I do like to explain to people that, even though we are in the Bible Belt and they're Christian or they're Catholic or Jewish, whatever the case may be, that crystals are in the Bible. And, Aaron, Moses' brother, had a breastplate that had 12 crystals in it. So even he believed in crystals.
Mm.
And they serve healing properties. Your watch, your cell phone, computer, TV, MRI machine, they have a quartz crystal in it because of the vibrational properties. Lepidolite is purple and it has little flakes of silver in it. That silver is lithium. That's where they get lithium for people who have bipolar, anxiety, depression, and also lithium batteries. So it does empower us in many ways. And I do like to give the geological aspect of it. But a lot of people are really starting to go, maybe there's something to this.
Yeah. And how could it be bad? Okay, say you're Christian, or say what God made them, right?
Right.
God, or whatever your form of deity is, made these beautiful healing crystals. So, it's funny, but again, I've seen you work with people and it's beautiful how things come in. So do you have any, you have any personal favorite crystals and stuff you work with, and why? Or do you?
Labradorite.
Ah,
Labradorite is my favorite. I don't know if you'll be able to see, but this is my ring here.
that's beautiful.
Yeah, there it
Oh
goes.
yeah, now it's getting all glowy. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So labradorite comes from Canada, and the Native Americans used to think that the northern lights got stuck in the stone.
Hmm,
And I think it's just such a beautiful story.
how
And
romantic.
I know it really is. And no matter how much I see of this one particular crystal, it will always remain one of my very favorites.
That is beautiful. So what
What's
are
your
some of
favorite
that?
crystal?
Well, it's rose quartz, amethyst, black tourmaline, the simple ones that are so powerful for me. I like all the fancy ones, and I'll have anything on, but if I had
So love,
three,
psychic intuition, and protection. I get
yeah,
that.
yeah, it's like, okay, here's the basics. Now we can spread out the wardrobe. But I just kind of go by what I'm drawn to. What do you tell people in stores? Of course, again, it's a beautiful shop, and you kind of give people what the attributes are known. Do you people tell people to like feel them out for yourself, where they're drawn? Do you teach people about their intuition?
I do. And usually they know more about crystals than what they think they know. So when they're picking some out, I will tell them to grab one, just one at a time, because you don't want to get it confused with a different one. And then just hold it in their hand and close their eyes and start at the top of their head and work their way down their body. And once they start feeling like a tingling sensation or the crystal starts vibrating or, getting warm in their hand, then that is the crystal for them. Now, whether they love the rose quartz or, the amethyst or the black tourmaline, that might not be what they really need.
Right.
So I've had people come in looking for a very specific crystal, leaving with something completely different. And then they look up the attributes, or I tell them, and they're like, that's exactly what I needed at the time. Yeah, it found you. You didn't find it.
Right. It finds you. That is beautiful. Okay. How was your connection to spirit change over here? From again, your childhood, you were hit by lightning,
Hmm.
um, to strike to now, we living a very metaphysical, a very magical, very spiritual life, having your own paranormal team, having this beautiful magical shop. Has it taken very many tours and paths and thing, or has this been a steady climb to get here?
I feel like it's had its highs and its lows, and I'm on my way up now. I'm back on that high again, and I feel like it's just gonna stay a high, and it'll plateau as everything does. But now that I've accepted what I am and what I can do, the world is limitless. It
Yeah.
really is. I throw a little, credit
Please.
my
Yeah.
way,
Yes.
which I never do. You know me. I don't do this.
Do it.
I was able to read you.
Yes, you were. And nobody
And
can read me.
when I did that, we've been friends for years. All of a sudden, I got fangirl. I'm like, I just read Patty. Oh my god! Yeah,
I know, and it's so
lifestyle.
funny. A lot people. I don't know why people can't read me. Maybe because they know who I am, or they get. I don't know what it is, but yeah, you're good, girl. You're good. You're super gifted. You're super intuitive. So let's go. So go back to again your background in psychology and law enforcement. Do you use those skills, or do you blend those skills, either working with clients because you knew sessions with people, or even into the spirit world?
Absolutely use those skills with law enforcement or with security or with anything like that. You have to set very firm boundaries. If you don't, your life is literally on the line. Um, Things can go south really fast. I set boundaries for people who disrespect either me or my coworkers or my store or my space. I set those boundaries, but I also move that over into the spirit realm because of what happened at Randolph. I'm no longer going to allow a spirit to disrespect my personal space. And that's why I have worked more and more on that field, that bubble per se, because, I did not give you permission to be here. Step back, you
Right.
know?
That is perfect. Okay, I've got a bunch of funny little questions for you, rapid fire. But before we go there, um, is there one message that you wish maybe more people understood about the spirit world, or you think misunderstood, or about their own intuitive abilities?
About the spirit world, everything is not dark and scary. That's the main one. Sometimes people are just lost. Sometimes they don't even realize they're dead.
Yeah.
So they may be scared. Think of it as a little child lost in a mall or lost somewhere and they don't know what's going on. They're just desperately looking to find answers. And then you have all these people come in with this equipment and it's very scary. So if you do investigate, go in with a kind heart and be loving. You'll get a lot more reaction with that. Um, ADHD, what was the second part of that question?
I don't know what you wish people maybe understood better, or well, you already kind of answered that one. So, how would people tap into their own intuitive abilities? You've been so beautiful at it, and like you said, things developed on the way. What's the best way of going? Well, I want to know if I'm intuitive.
Trust your gut for one. That's the main thing. So many of us don't trust our guts, whether it be in the spirit realm or relationships, jobs, just day-to-day life, or going down the road thinking, oh, I think I'm going to turn right here instead of getting on the interstate, and there's a wreck on the interstate. It could have been you. Trust your gut. But the best way, honestly,
Let's go to my school.
go to Patty's school.
That's funny. Thank you. I got a plug. That is great. Yes, University
Yeah.
Magicus. I think the world's most affordable spirituality, magic, occult, witchcraft, and beyond school. Thank you.
And if you
Anytime you
want
want
to
to come
see
sit in my
if
class,
you want to see the creepy stuff,
go, and the creepy stuff, go to my streaming network. I'm hiring you, girl. Paraflix, all paranormal all the time. For all of you who've already seen everything on Discovery and Travel Channel 12 times, we have a whole new thing. We have a whole new thing for you. You can go and watch Angie and myself on Ghost Finders. It's really
yeah,
fun. It's a good app. So thank you
that
for
was
that. That
perfect.
is really sweet. You are so all right. So I'm gonna just do rapid fire. It's my new thing I just
Okay,
started doing. No right or wrong answers. Just see where you go. Your favorite crystal for protection.
black tourmaline,
Mine too. Okay. The most haunted place you've ever been.
Randolph County Infirmary. Don't want to go back.
Yeah. Don't really, you wouldn't go back if we had a thing. Yeah. It's pretty spooky. It
Mm-mm.
is pretty spooky. And there's somebody there who likes you, right?
Obviously,
Yeah. So yeah. Okay. Okay. The first word that comes to mind when you think UFO?
Joan Rivers.
Joan Rivers?
I'm just
Why? Oh,
kidding.
that's a great
That
answer.
that's my go-to when I can't think of anything.
Oh my God. That is the best answer I think I've ever got. I was waiting for ice cream truck or MUFON. Joan Rivers, that's going to be my new answer, but I'll give you full credit for it. You don't know what to say, Joan Rivers.
Joan Rivers.
I love that. Okay. Okay. Um, what's your spirit animal? I know we can have lots of different things, but right now, what's your spirit animal?
Raven.
We have so much in common. We are like the
We
same
do.
person. It's insane. It is insane. Um, do you have a go-to spiritual tool that you use daily?
My mind.
Mm, good answer. Good answer. What's your zodiac sign?
Taurus. Cut.
Ah, good. I love Taurus. Okay. Coffee, tea, or full moon potion?
Full moon potion, as if it was even a question.
Not even a question. Okay. Um, if you have, if there's a one basic one, what is the candle color you always reach for, or most
Black.
reach? Black. Me too. Oh, come on. If people's like, oh, is that because they're all gothy witches? No, those are so protective. They are getting
Yeah.
rid of everything bad. Um, okay, what is the one thing that people always ask you as a psychic? What is the one thing everybody wants to know?
What am I thinking now?
I know, isn't that like,
It's the trick thing. Or um, will I find someone? Will I find my true love?
yeah,
But that's not up to me to tell them that. That's up to them to have self love and confidence in order to find somebody. Because if you don't have self love and you don't have confidence, then no one's going to pick someone that doesn't
right.
have things. It's all in you. Magic is in here. It's
One
in here.
100%. Yeah. And you can't have somebody make you happy. You have to make yourself happy and then you'll pull in someone.
Well,
That's just people do it backwards.
and see, a lot of people will say, "Oh, well, they made me mad or they made me happy." Did they? No, they really didn't, because you own those emotions. Somebody can't make your emotions. You allow yourself to have those. So if someone angered you, you allowed yourself to get angry. And once you figure that out, it's a game changer.
Exactly. You're taking your power back, which seems to
Right.
be a theme of what's going on right now, taking our power back. The world is trying to take our power away. So just figure out if you don't have your power, who or what did you give it away to and get it back. All
For
right.
sure.
if if you could have last question, and then I want people to let people know where they can find you and your shop when in the area. But if you could ask God, Spirit, Great Universe, one question, what would it be?
Is my grandmother okay?
Oh, she
Yeah.
is. She
Yeah.
is.
We
She is.
connected to her.
She is. Yes.
Everything
The,
else is going to sort itself out. Some people
it
want to know
always.
when they're going to die or they want to know whatever. I don't want to know.
No, I don't want to know. I like living every day. I like it being a
Mm.
challenge and the unknown. It would how boring would life be if we knew everything and knew it?
But if I did know exactly when I was going to die, I would make a whole series of pre-recorded texts to send out at different times, like, let me out of here. It's dark. And, you know,
That is funny. Okay, that is really funny. Whether you know it in advance or not, set it for like 50 years from now.
exactly.
Stanley Cup.
And yeah,
uh,
who's going to win the Stanley Cup? Are the
yeah.
Dolphins ever going to win again?
That voice came from afar, from the opposite side of the table. Who's going to win the
Yep.
Stanley Cup?
And
Um,
your
uh,
book,
oh,
ma'am, I cannot wait for the new book to come out. I am so excited.
you know what? I should have left you my sample copy because they're going to send me some new. I'm sorry I didn't. We will certainly get you one of the new book. And thank you for all that promo. So for everybody who's now fallen in love with you like I have, tell me where they can find you, both your physical, you have a real brick and mortar store, and of course for everybody else where they can find you online, website, social media, stuff like that.
Okay, so we're on Facebook. It's Crescent Moon Soaps, Crystals, and Gifts because we used to be a soap store.
They don't have soap. They have everything but soap.
I don't have soap right now, but I have some amazing beard oil. Um, but you can find us online. It is crescentmoonsoaps.com. And if you're in the Hickory or the North Carolina area, we are inside Valley Hills Mall.
And again, it is a beautiful, phenomenal shop. Worth it visited itself. It's very magical. So
Thank you.
thank you. Thank you. And you guys like her, follow her, go visit her if you can. And then so hopefully I'll be going out there again soon and come play with us.
Yes, yes, I'm so excited. And hopefully I can come see you soon.
Yes, come to LA, come hang with me or some of these other places that I'm going to and you're going to.
I
We will
never
make it
know
happen.
where you are. I'm so thankful that you do Where's Patty because nobody knows where you are half the
I
time.
don't know. I'm the first one to admit that it's me that doesn't know. I didn't know where I was this weekend with you. I don't know where. I don't know where I am. But you got me there. You got me. You fine driving, my friend.
Thank you.
Anyway, thank you, Angie, for bringing your true magic to the Witching Hour.
Thank you so much, Patty.
Love you.
Love you more.